guys, Spot here for Destiny, King's Fall, hard mode, we're on to the Deathsingers. Now, really the only change here, you know these guys that all spawn in with that Centurion? Yeah, those guys spawn in a lot faster. So normally on normal mode, you know, you'd have that group spawn in, and it does take them a bit to respawn. But normally, you'd attack the first Deathsinger, and then everybody could run to their platforms, and by the time everybody jumped on their platforms, and the person who was glitched or whatever goes to get the orbs, that's when that group spawns back in. But not so on hard mode. They spawn in a lot more quickly, so you have to deal with them, alright? We still 3-cycle this. I mean, you can 2-cycle. The funny thing is, every time we try to 2-cycle this, I mean, we can take down the first Deathsinger, no problem, right away. She always turns her head, but it seems every single time we take her down and destroy her on the first cycle, the other Deathsinger just does not turn her head. She's facing the other way. We can't see her crit, and we end up not being able to take her down. All right, so that's why we still 3-cycle this. So we're trying to deal with this, and you can see how quickly, like, these guys are still spawning in, and that's pretty typical. But the Centurion and that group in the middle, yeah, they spawned in a little bit more quickly. And these Thrall even seem to be a bit more aggressive. I don't think on normally they'd even come towards the center as much. I don't remember them coming towards center as much, but anyways. And we still attack the second Deathsinger from down here. It would probably be better. It would probably be better if we were on up top on this platform. We just haven't changed our strategy, so that way we wouldn't have to deal with these Thrall, because the Thrall only spawn on this side, right? They don't spawn on the first side with the first Deathsinger, so we're just taking these guys out. But we do finish her off. I mean, even with the Thrall, I wouldn't say it's not a problem. I mean, she happened to be turned to us. We're still dealing with the Thrall, but we do end up taking her out. But like I said, half the time, or pretty much every time, we take out the first Deathsinger and then try and push to do it in 2 cycles. She never turns her head to us, so we've just, you know, in practice now, we always 3-cycle the Deathsinger part no matter what. All right, so we've got a bunch of taken in here. I mean, these guys, again, normally they're in anyway, but like I said, that middle group with the Centurion, the yellow Centurion, they spawn in a lot sooner, so... You know, is it that much more difficult? Not really. Not really. I mean, you got a rocket launcher or whatever, and as long as people know, you deal with it, and it's fine. So really not a whole lot of added difficulty on the Deathsingers as well. And I think it's just really on Oryx himself where it's gotten difficult, but even then, with the right strategy, it's going to be fine. So there we go. There is the 3rd cycle. We're going to take up, I think that's Uranuk, the original Deathsinger, and we're gonna see what we get for drops. Hopefully we get some epic stuff. I am running, like, I don't like the rocket launcher. The raid rocket launcher kind of sucks. It doesn't have lock-on. I prefer to use a lock-on rocket launcher. I don't know how did so many people die? I have no idea. It doesn't matter. We're on the 3rd cycle. But yeah, I want to infuse my rocket launcher, my regular, you know, lock-on rocket launcher with the one that I got in the raid, but I ran out of legendary marks. I haven't been playing a lot. Okay, so we got the Cloak of 7 Bones. Is that 7 Bones? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got the hard raid mode Cloak. I think I take a look at it here in a second. What is it at? What light level is it at? So 307, 315. Not bad, not bad. So our light level's gotten up there. I think I'm well over 310 now. With all my stuff, because we ran it again. I ran it again with my other hunter, and the plan was to run it again with my warlock as well. So all 3 characters, so that we get those high level drops, and I can infuse as much as possible to make sure that my light is as high as possible for future runs. So that's it, guys. That's number 3 here for the Deathsingers, and we'll bring you Oryx next time. Spider out.